Welcome to the Social Engineering Techniques Part A lesson. Click Next to get started. After completing this lesson, you will be able to achieve these objectives. Explain social engineering. Describe the different methods of social engineering. What is social engineering? Social engineering is a term that you have been introduced to already, but given its importance, it's worth revisiting. According to one source, social engineering remains a leading cause of network breaches. Social engineering refers to a wide range of attacks that leverage human emotions to manipulate a target. The attack may incite the target to action or inaction. Ultimately, social engineering aims to steer the target in a direction prescribed by the orchestrator and often to the detriment of the target. Examples of social engineering goals include disclosing confidential information, transferring money, and influencing a person or persons to think in a certain way. Two important characteristics of social engineering are: 1. The aim is to achieve an outcome desirable to the orchestrator, and 2. The method is emotional manipulation. To spot a social engineering attack, look for the following signs: an emotional plea that leverages fear, curiosity, excitement, anger, sadness, or guilt. A sense of urgency around the request, and an attempt to establish trust with the recipient. Take caution when you receive a message that has any of these attributes. Don't allow a bad actor to pull your strings. The bad actor has devised a play, and he intends you to play the tragic role. Don't do it. Click the icon for more information. Perhaps the most famous social engineering bad actor is Frank Abagnale. His criminal life was depicted in the movie Catch Me If You Can and in an autobiography by the same name. The book and movie reveal how Abagnale successfully impersonated a doctor, lawyer, and airplane pilot to gain people's trust and take advantage of them. In 2011, an attacker compromised the network of a well-respected security company by sending phishing emails to groups of employees, using a method known as spear phishing. The emails had an Excel spreadsheet attached. The spreadsheet had malicious code embedded in it, which exploited a vulnerability in Adobe Flash to install a backdoor into the host computer. Unfortunately, at least one employee opened the attachment. It only takes one. As you can see from these two examples, there are many methods or attack vectors that a bad actor can use to execute a social engineering attack. A social engineering bad actor can speak to the human target directly, like Frank Abagnale, or communicate through email, or through some other method. In this lesson, you will learn the different methods of a social engineering attack. You are already familiar with the term phishing, and you likely have experience with phishing emails. Hopefully you weren't a victim of one. The two important characteristics of phishing are that it exploits email as the attack vector and that it targets anyone with an email address. The attack is indiscriminate insofar as who receives the email. Phishing is simply malicious spam that is sent to as many people as possible with the hope that at least one will be taken in. However, phishing can also have a categorical meaning. It can be used to refer to all electronic social engineering attacks, such as spear phishing, whaling, smishing, and vishing. There are many variants of phishing, some of which could be a part of a sophisticated campaign and may demand research and reconnaissance on the part of the attacker. Spear phishing and whaling fit into this category. Both spear phishing and whaling can be described as a social engineering attack that uses email to target a specific individual or group with the intent of stealing confidential information or profiting in some way. Like phishing, spear phishing and whaling use email as the attack vector, but with specific targets in mind. Click the icons to review the different descriptions of phishing types. What, then, is the difference between spear phishing and whaling? In a spear phishing attack, the bad actor targets an individual or category of individuals with lower profiles, such as the employees at that security company. In a whaling attack, the bad actor targets high-ranking individuals within an organization. When creating a whaling email, the attacker often does research on their target so that they can personalize the email in order to gain their target's trust. The extra work very often pays off because executives and board members can be just as susceptible to an email attack as those who work for them. One of the most successful whaling attacks, and indeed one of the most successful social engineering attacks of all time, was conducted against a Belgian bank. The CEO of the bank didn't even know he had been compromised until after a routine internal audit disclosed that the attackers escaped with over 70 million euros. The attackers have never been caught or brought to justice. Since the introduction of email as a ubiquitous means of communication, other methods have become popular, such as instant messaging, live chat, and SMS or text messaging. These methods can also act as threat vectors for a social engineering attack in the same way that email is used. A phishing-type attack that uses these media is known as smishing. Its name is derived from combining SMS with phishing. Other social engineering attacks can take place over a telephone or mobile device. These types of attacks are named phishing. Its name is derived from combining voice and phishing. In March 2019, the CEO of a UK energy provider received a phone call from someone who sounded exactly like his boss. Fraudsters are known to use AI voice technology to impersonate other people. The phone call was so convincing that the CEO ended up transferring $243,000 to a Hungarian supplier, which was a bank account belonging to the bad actor. These types of attacks are identical to phishing, spear phishing, or whaling, except that the attack vectors are different. They can also be equally profitable. In 2020, a group of hackers took control of 130 accounts on a well-known social media platform, including those belonging to several celebrities. They downloaded users' data, accessed direct messaging, and made tweets requesting donations to a Bitcoin wallet. Within minutes, the bad actors had grossed $110,000 through 320 transactions. While the methods used to take control of these accounts remains unknown, it is speculated that employees of the media platform were tricked into revealing account credentials which allowed access to these accounts. Social engineering bad actors use other tactics that are not restricted to any one attack vector. They could use email, messaging, voice, or even speak to the target face-to-face. One tactic is called quid pro quo, a Latin phrase that means one thing for another. In the context of social engineering, a quid pro quo attack is when a bad actor offers a service, usually tech support, in exchange for access to information, such as user credentials. Pretexting is another attack tactic. It involves a situation or pretext devised to invoke an emotional response from the target. Here is a real-life example. The target, a grandfather, receives a telephone call from someone who claims to be a police officer. The bad actor. The police officer tells the grandfather that his grandson has been arrested for possession of narcotics. The police officer also tells the grandfather that his grandson resisted arrest and that, during the ensuing fight, his grandson's nose was broken. The police officer then puts the grandson, another bad actor, on the phone, who sobs and pleads for the grandfather to post bail. The grandson's voice doesn't sound quite right to the grandfather, but he reasons that his grandson is sobbing and has a broken nose after all. Fortunately, the grandfather decides to hang up and phone the grandson's parents to verify if the story is true. Another tactic used by bad actors is baiting. Baiting can take a number of forms and is similar to phishing. Baiting can occur in the form of an email, text, or telephone call claiming that you have won a prize or that you qualify for a rebate. Baiting relies on positive emotions, such as a reward, to entice you to act. A baiting attack can also be subtle. For example, a bad actor leaves a USB memory stick in a public place, such as the parking lot, lobby, or washroom of the targeted organization. An intriguing label, such as managers' salaries and compensation, would be affixed to the drive. The bad actor is relying on you to be overcome with curiosity and to connect a USB drive to your computer. When you do, the malware on the USB drive installs a backdoor on your computer, and the bad actor now has a gateway into the network. Click the icons to review the social engineering attacks. You have completed the lesson. You are now able to explain social engineering, describe the different methods of social engineering,